People who have been on TV game shows, what are some behind the scenes secrets that regular viewers don't know about? Was in the audience at a Food Network taping, and Iron Chef America really is a 60-minute competition. That's not fudged. The judging on the other hand takes forever. What I never got is how the food doesn't get cold while waiting. Not sure if Iron Chef is the same. But on MasterChef the judges almost always taste the food cold. It goes straight into the fridge after the challenge has finished, and isn't brought out until the kitchen has been cleaned, on MasterChef AU, at least. My teacher was on Wheel of Fortune Australia, and he won a life supply of WD-40. It turns out with average usage a can of WD-40 lasts 20 years. So a life supply is 4 cans. You win a lifetime supply of hammers. Here's one hammer. Apostrophe. They let the other girl in the showcase showdown, Price is Right, ribbed after the audience booed her original bid, something silly low like $10,000. When it aired, they cut her original bid and showed only her second winning bid. I lost. Dude, they let her bid and she won. That is some bullshit. Wouldn't the Gambling Commission, or whatever the equivalent is in the US, have a seriously big problem with this? Edit. Gambling Commission was the wrong department to use, as many have correctly pointed out. It's not gambling as they are not using their own money. However, there is a branch of UK government called OFCOM that regulates gamma shows and makes sure they are fair and not in any way rigged to suit the needs of the producers of said show. Doesn't the US have something similar to that? I was on Cash Cab. You can't just hail a cab in New York, which turns out to be the Cash Cab. There is a vetting process, but you don't know you are going to be on the show, so the reaction is genuine. Also, there is a lot of awkward silence time while he is listening to the producer in his ear. There is a cameraman riding shotgun unseen on TV. The money he gives is prop money for TV. They mail you a check after the show airs. Ben Bailey was genuinely a nice guy. I was on Cash Cab as well. Same deal. We were recruited at a trivia night, but were told we'd be on a show about food. Being on Cash Cab was awesome, but I was a little disappointed about not getting that sweet free meal. That seems to explain some of the random contestants I've seen on that show that seem a little less than enthused about the whole experience. Mayo. I remember watching some old guy who just seemed pissed about the whole thing. Maybe they were really pumped to be on some hypothetical show that they slowly realized doesn't exist. My wife got a tattoo on a tattoo competition show. They gave her headphones to wear while she was being tattooed, but she wasn't allowed to actually plug them in and listen to music. Pure product placement lol. Other than that, it was a really good experience. Producers worked with her for several weeks leading up to and made sure she got a tattoo subject and style that she wanted. Is there a reason she couldn't play any music through them? Maybe I'm stupid, but if you want to sell something, might as well allow the person to use it and show it so everyone can see that it's working and shit, don't you think? I was on Wheel of Fortune. You have to get there at 5 AM, where you draw straws with other contestants to decide when you will film. They filmed the entire week of episodes in one day. Pat Sajak is incredibly friendly and interacted with us on every break. The wheel is heavy. I was on it too. Yeah, the wheel is super heavy. Pat was really funny, kind of reserved on our end, just cracking really funny jokes once in a while in commercial breaks. All the contestants are very supportive of one another. Vanna was such a sweet person, and in the beginning she came in and said, "Hey everyone, just wanted to come say hi and good luck before I go into Macup. This is what I normally look like." Laughs. I was also a contestant. Same experience. Both Pat and Vanna were incredibly friendly. The producers also supplied lunch for the contestants filming later. But I was on one of the earlier episodes. Won money but lost out on pizza. A work colleague of mine was one of the couples in Married at First Sight. She had a horrible experience, needed counseling afterwards, and is still receiving an appearance fee. Read hush money, even though her season aired like 5 years ago. Her words, UN real may as well be a documentary. Was on a MTV game show called Fist of Zen on MTV. Basically a group of people subjected to painful and nauseating tasks for cash. We won every round, but the producer asked us to purposefully fail one to change things up. Despite losing one round, we were still paid the full prize money. I was in the audience at The Price is Right. You wait like 4+ hours just to get into the taping. They come by and give you a short interview to see if you are a good prospect to make it to contestant row. I was with a group of 4 and none of us made it. The studio audience is significantly smaller than it appears on TV. Drew Carey told jokes between filming. The set is tiny. The wheel is tiny. No secrets to reveal, except that they must use some serious lenses and angles to make it appear bigger. It was a long day, but it was a cool experience. I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it's all scripted. The filming took half a day for 30 minutes of film. When you win the intro round, you are taken out to get your makeup on, and then they instruct you how to act when you celebrate. The reason the audience is so completely useless and why you see so many press wrong on obvious answers is because 20-30% of the audience is friends and family to the other 7 contestants who are waiting for their turn. We spent 2 days in the studio, and if the initial contestant loses, the others get their chance. If one contestant goes far and takes a lot of time, no one else gets a chance. So the audience tells the wrong answer on purpose. They tell the audience to clap and cheer, and they film that to edit it and during appropriate events. If we didn't cheer or clap loud enough, they had us retake it. The same goes for grimaces / negative reactions and shock / surprise. When I was a kid, I went to family game show with my uncle. The theme of the show was animal life, so it featured interviews, musical performances, etc. In between the questions we had to answer. None of that was shot in the order you see on TV. We shot questions and answers all in one go. Everything else had already been shot before, and they used sound effects to make you think it was sequential. Producers keep an eagle eye on contestants throughout the day, even escorting you to the bathroom. This is because of the quiz show scandals of the 1950s, and because the whole week tapes in a day. You have to bring 4 changes of clothes with you, all in solid colors, so the patterns don't bleed on camera. This was the 80s, so recording technology may have improved since then. For my 19th birthday, we went to a Jerry Springer taping. This was about 12 years ago, when it was still in Chicago. It's faker than I thought, but far more entertaining than seeing the occasional episode on TV. The guests are small-time actors trying to get screen time in. One was actually an eloquent British woman, but her character was supposed to be a gutter dyke. Not sure that would fly nowadays. Most of what's filmed is never used, and you also get tired from non-stop clapping. However, during breaks they show live marionette sex scenes and also give beads to women if they go topless. These are audience members. You're also encouraged to antagonize the actors on stage with one-liners. 10/10ths would never go back, but it was fun. I auditioned for X Factor. You don't go to the celebrity judges first, you go in front of some off-camera judges. So every terrible and horrible singer you see on the show has already been told they are better than the many talented ones not deemed TV worthy, which makes it a lot more disgusting to me. Been on a few in the UK, most notably The Chase. In all honesty, there's little in the way of secrets. I met my team on The Chase that morning in the hotel waiting for the taxi. On one show we were kept apart from our opponents, probably to stop colluding about splitting or stealing. Another was just a long wait in the green room waiting for other episodes to film. As other people have said, clothes are important, no logos. Solid colors, no solid black or white though. Had very little interaction with hosts other than between takes, or when they introduce themselves before the show. They have a job to do, so can't just spend time shooting the shit with you. That being said, Bradley Walsh was really nice. Oh, re The Chase. You and Bradley legitimately have no idea which chaser you will face. Bradley likes the surprise of it apparently. A lot of his bits are ad-libbed, too. In Deal or No Deal only the interesting people get picked. If you are outgoing and excited, you've got a high chance of being selected. Also, if you appear to be their target contestant, but turn out to be a dud, then I think they have the option of not putting you on air and no prize for you. Whether that is a threat they follow though with or not, I'm not sure. I was on one that required like 30-second shot, don't quite remember, of the contestants scrambling around picking up the supplies they want. Turns out we didn't need nearly that long. But they had us continue to scramble and push through, even though there was plenty of space and no real rush. I was in the audience of a game show, and the host didn't interact with us at all. Instead, to keep the audience spirits up, they had this guy joke around with the audience between shows. I think it was 5 shows in one day or something. He was funnier than the host, actually. I was a contestant on The Price is Right. They don't choose people at random. They interview everyone in the audience for about 30 seconds earlier in the day and decide who to pick based off that. Britney Spears' talk show interviews are muted for the audience, so her team can edit out anything she says that goes against her image and no one can state otherwise. Not a games hoe, but was in the audience for the Steve Harvey show. Holy crap, is he a shallow and fragile individual. We were told we could ask him questions between takes if he was in a good enough mood, which he would only be in if we reacted well during takes. We also were not allowed to ask him any questions about his teeth or mustache. He also said that his lifelong dream was always to just be on television and that's it. Edit. Wow. My top comment is about Steve Harvey and how terrible he is. Not me, but my uncle's friend went on Big Brother this year and was a completely different person. They made him the villain of the show, which is completely different to him in real life. I roll, he's actually a really nice footy bloke. Not really a game show, but I was an audience member with my class for America's Funniest Videos. They literally had empty plates / cups at some tables and a light up sign telling us when to laugh. Sometimes they would even move audience members depending on how well they laugh. This field trip was for our school drama club BTW. Not exactly a game show, but Conan plays awesome indie / alt rock during commercials in the Prezzo. I attended a taping of Conan several years ago. As soon as the show is finished, Conan grabs a mic and roams the aisles while singing. This is the after the show song that nobody knows about or something similar. Definitely a crooner. And I openly swooned because come on. Conan is a dream and a treasure. I was on an episode of The Chase Australia. Took 6 hours to film a single episode. Andrew O'Keefe is an extremely nice, well-read and friendly person. A true gentleman. A girl in my episode thought dolphins laid eggs. Andrew O'Keefe said it was the most stupid thing he has heard in a while. Him saying this didn't make the final edit. I was on a trivia show, and the game was over, but the other 2 players tied. So we had to do more questions until one of them got one wrong. That way the final scores would have a clear first, second, and third. Alex Trebek is just as no bullshit and likable as he appears on TV. During commercial breaks he took questions and told stories, communicating and joking with the audience the whole time. I got Top Gear tickets before the original cast left. It was a great day, but I didn't expect the director to keep stopping to move audience members around. He openly admitted that the best looking / disabled / charity workers will get to be at the front in view of the cameras. You could see so many die inside when he's like, you. Can you take 2 steps back please? The short people stand on risers to make it look like everyone's the same height. You don't collect any of the prizes until that episode airs. It can be many months. A friend made it to the showcase showdown and lost on pig. I did get a shout out when he spun the wheel. Everything looks way cheaper in person. Like most stuff is made of plywood. Commercial breaks usually include a weird stage manager telling you to do something different or the audience to get more involved. Those were as a contestant. Working on those shows is a whole other story. I nearly murdered the director of MasterChef because we spent 12 hours setting up the sets. Then he wanted everything to shift over about a foot. Luckily the union stepped in and said nope. I was on Pointless in the UK. If you're the first couple to answer and haven't thought of anything, they just give you longer by doing some chatting with the other contestants. Alex and Richard were incredibly friendly, and Richard has the biggest hands I've ever seen. Was in the audience for some new game show like 2 years ago. Can't remember the name, but Alec Baldwin was the host. Turns out he specifically works only in chilly temperature. Around 62 degrees, if I remember right. I was a contestant in a TV show. My other contestant was sweating insane amounts on his head. After every few questions they would stop to powder all the sweaty foreheads, so they wouldn't become shiny. It was a good experience. Crew was friendly and hilarious. The green slime at Nickelodeon tastes like pineapple. I was on Jenny Jones back in the day of Rude Jude. I had brought my friend on. Started as a joke. I guess we were being too chill cause between shots. They told us that, if we didn't get louder, they would kick us off and make us walk home. So after the break, I stood up and yelled at the audience. That's how they get the shots of people standing and yelling. Bob Barker is angry. My sister. The ones who call people down from the audience aren't random at all. Contestants are interviewed beforehand by producers and the players are chosen based on various criteria and demographics. I was on The Chase. They film reaction close-up shots ahead of time when the contestants aren't actually reacting to anything. It's kind of awkward to pretend. I was on University Challenge, UK. This wasn't always the case, but Jeremy Paxman was wearing basically a completely unmatched pair of loose-fitting corduroy trousers on the bottom half and a suit on his top half. You never see his legs on the show. But I had always assumed he would wear a full suit. I don't know why he didn't just go the whole hog and wear tracksuit bottoms. Perhaps he does sometimes. I was a winner on The Price is Right. The best behind the scenes secret lad, and that I can remember from that day was that Drew was one of the nicest, most personable, funniest guys I ever met celebrity wise. In the brief moments we had, I got the feeling that he was genuinely happy for me. And then we got to talking about random things like what musicians we liked and how much I enjoyed his old sitcom and WLIIA. Made the experience even better. Hopefully, in 10 years, he'll be lucky enough to get chosen again. More than anything, because spinning that wheel is quite something too. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.